Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes. Welcome back to the podcast that I ripped off of Emma Chamberlain with Maddie Braun. Woo! I'm actually honestly surprised I made it past episode one. Really, though. Because, like, for me to commit to something is crazy. Like, I don't know. I have commitment issues. That is my way of saying I have commitment issues. But real talk. Okay. I really did not mean to offend Emma Chamberlain in any way. um, she's not gonna watch this, so I don't think I really have to worry about anything. But listen, I really just didn't realize that her podcast was named Anything Goes, because like I love her, but I haven't listened to like a full episode of her podcast yet, which I know I have to. I have to really bad, but I haven't listened to a full episode yet, and so I didn't realize that hers are like literally the exact same name, and that's my fault because she did it first. She's a queen, um, and I'm just me. So I don't. I feel like the name is not gonna stick, and I will probably find something I like more in the future. But for right now, I'm just gonna keep it because I don't really know. So hopefully I don't get like copyrighted or something. I have no idea. But we have a lot to talk about today. I have a lot of different things um to discuss. I mean, it's been a while. I really wanted to try and keep this like super like on a good regimen for uploading. I mean, I was like, "Oh my god, I can do it once a week, like easy, easy." And then that didn't happen. um cuz I posted the first episode. I was feeling really good about it. I'm like, "Oh my god, like it literally like I filmed it. It took me so long to finally get around to edit it, which I didn't even have to edit anything. It's like literally a podcast. You just upload it. Like all I had to do was overlay the picture, and still that took me like forever to to do that. But that was finally uploaded, and then I was like, yes, we'll do it again next week. And then I got so busy with I had a final presentation due, and I that's all I was eating, sleeping, and breathing that presentation for probably a week and a half. So I apologize that this is probably going to take forever to upload as well. I'm going to try for Friday. We're going to try. It's Wednesday right now. So, we'll see how that pans out. Um, but I know, I'm really going to try. We'll see. Hopefully I can get it out. But anyways, so yeah, I've had an interesting past few weeks since we've spoken last, and y'all are gonna be really mad at me because like I am seriously like by the title, I'm about to contradict literally everything I just said, which I feel like is gonna be a very common theme of this. Like I'm gonna say something one week, and then like the next week I'm just gonna completely say the exact opposite, and like I don't know. I'm not lying to it you. I think I'm just voicing my thoughts at the current time, which huge difference. um so if I change my mind at any point in time like I'm about to do, just know it's like it's a whole growth process, you know what I mean? Like I'm growing. Girl's gonna say some things that are totally just not what she thinks. um so yeah. So what do I mean by that? Well, you know how I was saying, like, oh my god, like being single is so fun, and I don't know, you can do whatever you want. Well, girl went on a date two 2 weeks ago, week 2 weeks ago, I think. Um, was I was totally like expecting because I went over to this guy's house. Oh, I gotta turn my ringer off. One moment. Okay. Um, So I was totally expecting to go over to this guy's house and kind of just hook up with him once and then be done with it probably. Um cuz I met him on Bumble. Let's just talk about that. All right, sorry. That was like a really loud hit because I'm keep smacking my desk. But yeah, let's talk about that. I met him on fucking Bumble. Like I was like 3 days into my Bumble adventure, and this guy pops up. And I don't even know, like, what made me, like, swipe right on him. Because, like, people are asking me, and I was like, I don't really know. Like, he has really nice hair. I think that might have been it. Because, like, if you have nice hair, literally anything else can be off. And I'll be okay with it. You know what I mean? Any other red flags will go unnoticed if you have nice hair. Um, so, yeah. So, I meet this guy on Bumble. And then I added him on Snapchat. And we were Snapchatting for a while. And, like, at first I was like, is he kind of weird, or am I just like never been around people that are like nice to me? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because he was like being really nice to me on Snapchat, and I was like, okay, is this just me like being like emotionally unstable and like never having people that treat me good, or is this guy weird? So we make plans to hang out, and I go over to his house, and I don't know. I was like, okay. And then literally right before I left, he was like, "How tall are you?" And I'm like, "Uh-oh." Uh-oh. And I was like, "I'm 5'7". He's like, "Oh, I'm also 5'7". I was like, "Oh my god, yes." Like, okay, height to me does not matter as long as you're not like shorter than me. Like, I mean, I guess you like it really depends, I guess. Um, but like I'm not one of those people that's got to be like, "Oh my god, you have to be taller than me, like you have to be 6 foot." I'm not like that. I don't really give a shit. Um, but yeah, anyways, I thought I had to make that very clear. Um, so I go over to this guy's house. I've literally said it like 5 times. I go over to this guy's house, um, and I get there. He's definitely the same height as me. Like, definitely. He like hugs me. I'm like, okay. So we go into his room, and we were watching Harry Potter, and I was like, okay, which I love Harry Potter. So like Harry Potter and Star Wars, we were both like, yeah, let's totally watch it. And I was like, okay, is he just like saying that just so he can like put on a movie and then just do whatever the fuck he thinks he wants to do to me? Like, pfft, that sounded really bad. I didn't mean to say it like that, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't just gonna like hook up right away or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what I was feeling in that moment, but anyways. So we were watching the movie and we were just like talking and like just hanging out, and it was really good. Like, we had a great conversation. Don't fucking remember what it was about. um and like, so kind of started to like him. Like, sorry, scream, sorry, I should have put a warning. Anyways, so I started to like him, which is oh my god, I just love when you're like totally expecting something else and then you just like get the opposite. That was like a double negative, but it's fine. Um, so yeah, I was like, oh wait, I kind of like him. He kind of cute. Fuck. And he wore like bracelets. He was very tan, like very put together. It seems. So I was like, fuck. Like, he's not a nicotine addict. He's not malnourished. He doesn't look like he's about to die. Like, he doesn't like look like he's going to murder me in my sleep. Like, doesn't look like he's gonna fucking do anything like that I've seen in the past. Like, I was like, I never meet good people. So I'm like, okay, wait. How do I feel about this one? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Um so yeah, like the hangout went really good, and I was like, damn. And like we were both kind of on the same page. We're like, I was definitely not expecting to actually like somebody hanging out with. I thought we were just gonna like hook up and and he basically said the same thing. So like it's not one sided. Like, I'm pretty sure, even if he's not gonna listen to this, but if he does, I'm pretty sure he's gonna agree with me. I don't know. So then I go home that night screaming in my car on the way home because I'm like, what the fuck? So I go home and I was like, I had a really good time. And he said the same thing. I was like, I know everybody doesn't want to listen to this, so I'm really going to try to like keep it going. Um, so he texts me the next day. He's like, because I had to work the next day, like, for, like, 8 hours. So I was at work, and he was like, I don't know if you're doing anything later, like, if you have dinner with your parents or anything, but if you don't, I'd really love to take you out. I was like, he offered to take me out? Which is the bare minimum, literal bare minimum. But, like, I can count on my hand the amount of times that, like, guys have actually offered to, like, take me out as opposed to, like, hanging out. And even people I've dated, like, seriously, like, it's crazy. Mind blowing. And even though it was just like out to the movies, it was still really cute. So we go to the movies, really fun time again. So going strong with that. Um, and then we made plans to hang out the next weekend, which was last weekend, and we hung out again. And it was really good. So I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for lying to you. I still believe what I said, but I am a dumb bitch. So we're gonna see where this pans out. Like, I understand what I said, and I know I'm contradicting myself, but I'm gonna see what happens. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna have fun with this, and if it doesn't work out, that's okay. Because that's kind of what I was expecting in the first place. I have no high hopes. Like, I don't have high hopes for anything. But I don't know. We're gonna see, okay? Okay, you can yell at me all you want. Like, it's well deserved because I literally just said I wasn't gonna do this, and here I am doing it. So you're welcome to yell at me. But it was a really fun time. Hopefully, it stays a fun time. Anyways, where I wanted to go with that is I was thinking because I like literally every time that I'm like, oh my god, I should have talked about this on the podcast. Like, I should talk about this on the podcast. So I thought, fuck, there's a stink bug on my ceiling. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Whatever. So I thought to like go off of this since it was such a good experience. I should talk about some of my bad experiences, like in relationships and hookups, because I think that's even more funny than like telling the entire story. Because like the entire story, it's exhausting. You don't need to hear any of it. But if I tell you like the bad parts, I think you'll get the gist. You know what I mean? So, so I think I should tell some of my like bad hookup stories and shit because they're just really funny to me. Um, so the first one that I can think of, whew, so this was back in, I'm trying to think. Um, I think it was honestly close to a year ago now. I think because this person um FaceTimed me on my birthday, which I also cried on my birthday. I cry on my birthday every year because my birthday is in a week and a half. So I'm like kind of used to crying on my birthday. I don't know. It's just like a very emotional time. You know what I mean? Like you people actually like acknowledging you exist and then there you like feel really important. Like and you get messages from everyone and oh my god, it's your birthday, like love you even though sometimes it's people that fucking don't. Like okay, I know you're just saying that to be nice, but like come on. Anyways, so I usually cry on my birthday, but it's okay. Most of the time, I'm fine. Anyway, so this guy, yeah, I think he FaceTimed me on my birthday, I think so. This had to be like sometime last year around this time. So, fully out of quarantine. Wait, right? Yeah, like out of quarantine, but like we could like go outside, I think. I'm so fucking confused. I don't even know. Anyways, so this is how this goes. So I'm going to this ice cream place in the town near my house, and it's like a newer one. So yeah, I went there, and I was with my mom, and so we went and got ice cream, and there I noticed like this guy that was like in front of me, and then he like went and sat down, and I was like, he kind of cute. Um, in retrospect, he actually wasn't. He really wasn't. So just don't worry about it. Anyways, so I was like, he's kind of cute. He wasn't. And so my mom's like, oh my god, I know who that is. And I was like, fuck, please don't go and talk to them. And so she like gave me like his name. Um, we'll call him Tom, okay? She's like, oh my god, his name's Tom. Like I work with his dad. So like I know who it is. Went to high school with his mom, and I'm like, okay, cool. Um, So yeah. Then I get home, like, from getting ice cream, and I literally searched this bitch up. I searched Tom up on Instagram. I follow him. And he follows me back. Like, okay, maybe I should preface. He was, like, we made eye contact, like, 3 or 4 times at the ice cream place. So, like, he definitely saw me. And so on Instagram, um, he DMs me and he's like, "Were you at this ice cream place?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was me. I was staring at you." I didn't say that, but I was like, "Hey, yeah, that was me." Huh? And then he's like, "Oh my god, like, what's your snap?" So I gave him my snap, and we were Snapchatting for a bit. And gotta be honest, this guy's weird. Like, how else do I put it? He's just weird. Um, I guess he was like considered popular, but like, um, not like at the school he went to. Like, he just like knew people that knew people. I don't know if I that makes any sense, but um, so and this was like this was my first hookup, I think, right? Yeah, I think so. So like I was not used to that shit at all. So he like asked me to hang out one day, and I was like, okay, yeah. So like, girl, I was so naive. So not naive, but like just didn't know what was gonna happen. um, so he was like, "Oh, but could you drive? Because I just like don't have a car right now, or some shit like that." And I was like, "Okay, red flag, but sure." So I go and pick him up. He was like 2 minutes away from my house. Like, does not live far from me at all. And so we go to fucking, where did we go? We went to Wendy's. We got like food at Wendy's. I don't know why. And like when he gets in my car, I'm realizing, like, okay, this man is definitely like baked out of his mind. Like literally so high. And like to the point where he couldn't even like speak. That sounds bad. No, like he could speak. Like you could just like tell. You know what I mean? Where he was like not listening to what I was saying at all. And I was like, okay. And he was talking and like he sounded like he had like a California like accent, but he lives in Buffalo, so it just doesn't make sense. So, so we went to Wendy's and then we went to a park that was like nearby there, and so we kind of just start hooking up. And I'm like, okay, this is happening. Like it was consensual, don't worry. Like this was consensual. um but so we start like hooking up and I'm like, okay, all right, this guy's a terrible kisser. Like so bad. Like he kept like ramming his mouth like into me. I'm like, can you not? Like you don't need that. You don't need the pressure, okay? Like some pressure is like sometimes good, but this was just like literally like smacking me. um and he just kept like he was like really aggressive, but like not in a good way. And it just was not good at all. Like he just kept like what was he doing? He was like grabbing my like neck, like not like the nice little like neck air grab like throat grab thing where it's just like oh it's nice. Like he was literally just grabbing me, and it wasn't even like that it was painful. It was just annoying. I was like, bitch, what are you doing? Like stop. Um, and he kept like moving around. Like he kept like moving around. Like kept switching where he was. I'm like, boy, what are you doing? Um, yeah, so it was just not a good time. And I was like, okay, this is just super weird. And we didn't do anything really like too crazy. So, like, never fuck this guy. Don't worry. Don't worry. I didn't. I saved that for like the good ones. I wish I could say that. Actually, I can't say that. But anyways. So he so yeah, that experience was not good, and I was just like, fuck, this that kind of sucked. And should I even? Mm, he like scratched me, like he scratched me, uh, and I don't want to like, I don't want to give too much information, but he tried to do some things. They did not work out. And instead, he scratched me, and it left like a giant mark, and it was so uncomfortable to walk around with. I think you get the picture, but like it was bad. It was bad, and I'm just like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this man? So I went home from that. My parents were like, "Oh my god, how was it?" I was like, "It's so great. It's a great time." Um, so I was, yeah. So that was a horrible experience. And what's even worse is I still hung out with this kid again, like again, thinking that something better was gonna happen. And so this time I went to his house. Um, and I was like, "Do you want me to park my car across the street?" Because I was driving like my mom's car at the time. So I was like, "Do you want me to park the car across the street?" And he's like, "No, you can park it in my driveway. Like my parents won't be home or anything." So I was like, "Okay." So I parked it in his driveway against my better fucking judgment. Then I walk into his house and we go into his room. Literally the scariest looking room I've ever seen in my life. Like it was trash. There was shit all over the floor. Like not even like just clothes. Like there was food, there was trash, like there was so much shit on this person's floor. Like I don't think I saw any part of the floor. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like all of his drawers were open, like there was shit all over his counters. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm depressed. Sorry, that's why my room looks like this." And I was like, "Okay, okay." I'm trying to rationalize because if my room looked like that, my mom would literally beat me with a stick. um, like I don't know. I just don't even know how somebody lets their room get to be that bad. Like it was a hoarder looking room. Like it was bad. Anyways, so I was like on his bed, and we were like I don't even know. Like we were watching something on fucking Netflix. I don't remember what it was. I think it was it South Park? It was either like South Park or like Rick and Morty. I feel like I don't know. Um, so we start like hooking up again, and it is just not good again. Um, and I'm like, why did I expect anything better of the situation? And then he's like asking me how my day is fucking going while we're hooking up. I'm like, no, that's not like a thing you do. Like what? At least like the way he was asking it, I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Anyways, then his dad comes home. Meanwhile, his dad works with my mom. I'm driving my mom's car. Some shit is gonna math together and he's gonna fucking find out, like, oh, I'm gonna tell her mom that she's at my house right now. Like, that's what was going through my head. So he's like, oh, I'll handle this. So he, like, walks out. I don't have a shirt on. I'm topless, sitting in this guy's bed, just terrified. I'm like, if this man walks in, if his dad walks in and sees me, he'd be like, oh my god, I know your mom. Like, I'm not wearing a top. So I was like thinking, I'm like, do I jump out the window? Do I run out? What do I do? Do I stay here? Do I hide? So he's like talking to his dad, and then he walks back in, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. Like he doesn't care." And I'm like, "Bro, how does he not care? There's a fucking girl in your bed." I'm guessing I have been in the same place as multiple people over time, so that's probably why they didn't care. Anyways, so he's like, "Yeah, my dad doesn't like care, but I gotta do homework, so like you have to leave." And I'm like, you did not just kick me out of your house. And I was like, bitch, that was my idea. Like, I wanted to be the bigger person here. I wanted to be the one being like, bitch, I'm leaving. Like, so I was upset. So I left again. Still went like 0 for 2 in those areas and that person. So that was probably my worst hookup story, I think. Because that was just, it was so weird, and I was snapping him for a little bit after, and then I blocked him because I was like, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. So I blocked him. Um, So yeah, that was one person I went out with, and it sucked. It was terrible. I'm trying to think of any others. Cause I mean I wasn't like a total like whore. I also I went out with somebody. It was over the summer, like in August, and I met them at my friend's grad party. And that was the one and only time I ever snuck out of my house. And so it literally took me like oh my god, like I didn't even need to sneak out this night because like I literally told him I was like, if you want me to come over, like just let me know before this time and I can, and I will get out of my house and it's fine. And he's like, okay. Texts me at fucking 12:30 and is like, because I don't know how your parents are, but like mine are more so like you can't leave past like a certain time because they just don't want you to. It's not that they like are gonna like hound you for where you're going, but like they just want you to be safe, and it's totally understandable. So like it's like fucking 12:30, and he's like, you should come over, and I was like, okay, but I want to. So I was like, okay. And I knew my parents were drunk, so I was like, them bitches have passed out. They're not gonna wake up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sneak out of my house. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a bad bitch. So I grabbed my fucking wallet, I think I brought my toothbrush with me. I brought my keys, my phone charger, like the necessities, and I think I had contacts too. So it took me like 15 minutes to get out of my house because I was literally taking it one step at a time. Like I was like, like the creak of like the floorboards would go off. I'm like, fuck, they're gonna wake up. And then I like get to the basement door, and then my dog just like tilts her head at me, and I was like, I swear to fucking God, you make a noise and you are dead to me. And thankfully, I made it downstairs, and then I made it, and I was like, okay. I was like hyperventilating. I was like, I gotta run to my car, I gotta sprint, I gotta turn it on, and I gotta leave. And I was like, fuck it, let's book it. So I turned on I like ran out there. It was raining. I ran out there, turned on my car, and I fucking booked it out of my driveway. And I was like, fuck yeah, I did that shit. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, this is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. But it's also kind of a good idea. But it's such a bad idea. So I finally like I had to go pick this kid up from a party. So I I couldn't even get the address of the place either. I was literally looking at his Bitmoji and just like driving towards the general direction. So I've been driving for like a half hour, and then I finally get the fucking address. So I drive the rest of the way, and I pick him up. He's hammered. um, so I'm like, great. So I keep driving. I had to drive like another 20 minutes to his house. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, this is gonna be a fucking terrible drive home. But we get to his house. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and he's like, and I was like, oh, are your parents home? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So we go up to his room. His brother was there. He just kind of like waved at me, and I was like, hey, hi. So so I go into his room, and we fucking I don't even know. Oh, we were watching Cody Co for a while, which is like what I make any guy I hang out with watch, just to see their reaction. But so like we were just like talking for a while, and I was like, okay, he's like not making. He's like has a girl in his bed, and he's not making a single move on her, and I'm like, ow. Maybe he just doesn't like me. Like I'm like was really confused. There was just nothing happening. But I was like, you know what? It's fun anyway, so I'm just gonna deal with it. So I don't know. We were like talking about shit, and I was like, there was part of me in my mind that was like, is this bitch just like not into girls? Like, I was kind of thinking it because like he kind of looks a little bit fruity. Like if you saw a picture of this guy, you know what I mean. He like kind of looks a little fruity, but I don't think he is. I don't know. But it was just like odd the way he was acting towards me. But anyways, um, we ended up like making out. I don't really think we did anything else. I don't really remember. But it was fun. We watched the fucking Blair Witch Project. And then I slept over at his house, and like I didn't get caught for sneaking out. I like told my parents I left like really early in the morning to go to the gym, and they were like blacked out, so it was fine. Um, but it was a good experience. I wouldn't say it's like a bad experience, but just like the way he was acting towards me was really weird. And then like after like when I was leaving, he was saying like, "Oh, we should definitely like hang out soon." And then we hung out one more time, and he said the exact same thing when I got back. But then he didn't want to hang out with me again. So I was like really confused. I'm like, why would you say you want to hang out with me again if you don't? Like, what? Just tell me. Um, so yeah, that was another experience I had. It was just really fun. I think that guy has a girlfriend now, so good for him. You know, good job. Um, um, so yeah, those are two bad experiences. Not that wasn't even bad. Anyways, two of my hookup experiences. Um, this did come up in conversation today, so I think it's kind of funny to talk about. But another guy I dated for maybe like a month. Yeah, like a month or so. Um, I didn't like him. I don't know why I dated him. He was really fucking weird. Like, nice person, but was really like he was one of like the mamas type. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wanted. He called me that all the time, and I was like, "My guy, what?" Like, I don't know. He was really weird and just really immature, and like that's like a huge thing for me. Like maturity is such a huge thing for me. Um, because the first guy that I dated, after he broke up with me, he when I was like, okay, can we just like talk one more time just so I can get like closure? And so he drove me home that day and was basically saying that I was so immature and like I wasn't the mature person that he thought I was. Like I just, grew to be so immature and like wasn't very understanding. And I was like in this car sitting here like, okay, okay, I'm going to compose myself. I'm not going to say anything because I know deep down who the fucking immature person in this relationship was. And it wasn't fucking me. The amount of things I dealt with in that relationship that I put up with, I was the fucking mature one. Though I should have gotten out of it way before I did, but I didn't. And I was like, bitch, you're really gonna sit here and call me fucking immature? Really? Okay. So, so maturity has always been a huge thing for me. I really don't want to talk about like the first relationship I had because there's just so much bad shit, and it's just I have moved on from the situation, and I have found closure, and I'm good with all of that. I am good with all that. He is not. He keeps fucking adding me on Snapchat and wants me to add him back, always asking me how I'm fucking doing for my friends, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, just leave me alone. Cause I'm like, I don't like. I'm doing great. Like, I'm fine. Like, I think this guy was totally expecting me to just like, literally run back to him and be like, I can't live without you, but I'm fine. So, so yeah. So, maturity has always been a huge thing for me. Going forward from that. And this guy was just very immature, and like some of the things he did just kind of reminded me of like my first relationship, so I was like, okay, I need to fucking get out of this shit. um so I don't want to say I was looking for an excuse. It's probably bad on my part, but I was looking for an excuse to get out of it. So the one day he was supposed to pick me up, and he just never showed up. Like I was at practice, and he was supposed to pick me up after practice, and we were gonna like go out to dinner that night, and I was gonna break up with him. um, and so he never picks me up, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't." And I just was so fucking pissed off because I was like, "I want to break up with you." That sounds so mean, but like, he was really fucking weird, and I just didn't like him, and I wanted to get out before it was, too deep. Um, so I like didn't completely ruin his feelings. I guess like I don't know. Like if you don't like somebody, you gotta tell them. Like if you don't have feelings for them, you gotta tell them, especially when they definitely have feelings for you. So um, so I broke up with him over text, and I honestly that's horrible judgment on my part. Like should not have done that one, but I did. And it was kind of like double-sided though, because he was also like really pissed at me. He's like, fine, like then we're done. I was like, good, then we're done. I don't remember the actual conversation, but it was something along those lines. And so I had to call my dad to come pick me up from practice. We drive home, and I was telling him like this whole situation. So yeah, I got home. Like I hadn't been on my phone. I just didn't fucking feel like answering him. So I get home later, and then I was like looking at my phone later. Then this bitch posts something on his story, and I'm just like, oh, Kurt. So I open it. This bitch literally put on his story. Juice was right. All girls are the same. I'm like, bitch, what? What? Excuse me? Excuse me? So that was hilarious to me. I was like, okay, I'm glad I got out of this shit, because this is so fucking immature. This is so fucking middle school childish bullshit. Not only did he put that on his story, he also put it in his Instagram bio. It was literally like in quotations. And I'm like, homie, what? He was also like the type of person that like I had to have like his name in my fucking bio, which I didn't want to do. Like he kept asking if I'd post a picture of us two together, so I fucking did, because I was like, shut the fuck up. I hate posts. Like I would rather keep everything private and not have anybody see anything I've done with people. So that was very annoying, and I really wish I never posted any of that shit so that nobody saw it, but it's fine. So yeah. And so yeah. And so from then that point on, like I didn't really talk to him a lot, and then he like apologized like months after the fact, and he was like, you were the one for me, and I was like, but I'm not the fucking one for you. um or the other way around, but you know what I mean. Um and he like crashed his car. Like he was a horrible driver too, and he like drank and drove a lot, and I hate that. That's like my that like you can't. Like I will literally break up with you. Like I told people in the past, like I will break up with you if you do that. Um and then they do it because men are fucking stupid. Um so yeah. Anyways, and he crashed his car. Like there was like the third crash he's been in, like third car that he's crashed. And I was like, bro, you have to be fucking careful. Like, you need to stop doing that shit. Like, I was giving good advice at that point, but I was like, yeah, there's no second chance opportunity here, boy. And so after that, he started his, like, gym rat phase. And all of his gym videos keep popping up on my For You page, and I just don't really feel too good about that. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, listen, if you want to work on yourself, that's fine, but you don't need to put it out to the entire internet. Like, you don't need to post the same gym video with, like, saying, like, she hurt me, or, like, my gym motivation was getting broken up with, or, like, this is the same person, like, a year ago from now. Like, you post one transition video, and then you're good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to post it. And it's, like, it's the same clip, too. It's not, like, different videos. It's literally the same fucking clip. And I'm like, bro, you don't need to post this to the entire internet. Just like post one and like, cause like I don't know. The best thing to do when you get broken up with, if it's like, cause there's a lot. All breakups are different, but like the best thing to do when it's like a relationship that's just not a good one, I guess, is to show the person you're happier without them. You know what I mean? Like in some cases, like I get it if it's like a really bad breakup and it's like someone you actually loved and like it was mutual and like things just didn't work out, but it like it's not a bad ending, then I guess it's a little bit different. But like for me, it was somebody that literally like not this guy we were just talking about, but the first guy I dated, because he cheated on me like a lot. So for that relationship, it was like you definitely want to be like showing that you're happier without them, because those are the type of people that like to see you like depressed and like want to be like, you know, how am I trying to think of, like they want you to like come crawling back to them because you're hurt, and then they can just manipulate you more. So the best thing he could have done is shown he was happier without me and just like not posting anything about it. You know what I mean? Like maybe that sounds really bad coming out of my mouth. I don't know. But it definitely like I don't know. It definitely seems like he was trying to get my attention and I'm just like, "Bro, you don't need to do that. Like it's okay. Like chill out. We dated for literally a month. Like it's not like we were in love or anything." Like so yeah. That was an interesting fucking that was just interesting. That's all I have to say about that one. But moving forward from relationships, because I feel like I don't want to talk about that the entire time we're here today. Um, a complete 180 of things have been going on in my life recently, and it all started like, I mean, it's been going on for a while, but it's just more. I think I notice it more now. It's like, okay, so I don't know if y'all watch Shane Dawson videos. Maybe you don't. Maybe you agreed with him being canceled. I don't really know how I sit with that one. But he makes good content, so I don't really give a fuck. Like, say what you want about that. Don't hate the person, but uh, enjoy the content. I don't know. So I watch his conspiracy theory videos, and he just came out with a new one not too long ago about some stuff, and it was like to do with the simulation theory, which I I believe in, but like 85% believe in. I would say. Um, you may think I'm fucking crazy, and that's okay. So they describe it. He describes it a lot better on his channel. So I won't even like attempt to. Sorry, I'm really close to the mic. Ow, fuck. Sorry. I'll back up. I'm not even gonna attempt to like explain the entire thing. Um, but if you want to learn more about it, like he had a great video on it. Um, there's an interview that Elon Musk talks about it. Like, there's a bunch of different sources you can ask that will describe it a way lot better than I will. But basically, there's a bunch of different branches, but at least the one that, like, I guess I most believe in is that years and years in the future, um, humans created, like, a simulation to kind of see what the past looked like. So they could see, like, anything they wanted to in the past. They wanted to recreate the past so they could go back and look at it and study it. And that simulation was is so close to, like, it looks indistinguishable from reality, and that's what we're living in right now. Like, I'm a little video game character and I'm not real. That's basically the basis of the theory. It sounds insane when I put it that way, but if you listen to the right people describe it and shit, it sounds a little bit more believable, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But anyways, there's just a lot of weird fucking things that happen in the world that I just do not think are just coincidences, I guess, is a better way to put it. And it's been happening a lot more in my daily life. Like this is basically giving an explanation for like deja vu, like not necessarily astrology, but like kind of question mark. A lot of things. And like certain coincidences that just don't seem like coincidences. Like anybody saying like the universe told me to do so. Like I'm like, well, if it's a video game, maybe the universe did put that in for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what I've been noticing in my daily life now is that I'll honestly like think of something and then it fucking happens like right away. For example, um, I was at work the one day and I was like, I really want Chick-fil-A. Like I was scrolling through my Snapchat stories, and you know how after like every two Snapchat stories you get an ad. And I was like thinking, I wasn't even saying out loud, so it's not even like it was my phone listening to me. I was literally saying like, oh my god, I want Chick-fil-A like really bad. I wonder if they deliver. And as soon as I think that, I press my little Snapchat thing, and it's a fucking DoorDash commercial for Chick-fil-A. What the fuck? what the fuck? And yeah, that could be completely a coincidence, but this shit has been happening to me so often that it's fucking scary and I hate it. Like, I was literally thinking of the word mystery in my Spanish class. I think it was Spanish. Maybe it's a different class. And at the same time I was thinking it, my teacher said the word mystery, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I hate when this shit happens because I'm like, ugh, like it scares the shit out of me. Um, but so I completely believe in this theory, and like I get deja vu all the fucking time. Like, and then I forget what I got it about. So it's like really hard to explain. Um, but I definitely did get it today. I just don't remember what at what time. Um, I don't know. It's just, and like the fact that I space out all the time, like it just like I have not felt like a real person in a long time. Like I literally will be sitting here and I'm like, this is not real. Like life is just not real. It's not. And like it's just really, it's a weird feeling. Like you just literally do not feel like you're in your own body. Like I'm like, I am not real. Like there is just a voice in my head. Like what? So there's also like that other theory that you are the only person that exists and everybody around you is just like NPCs. And to me that's like, oh, don't even get me started on that shit. Don't even get me started because I'm like, oh my god, no, nothing is real. Nothing is real. Um so yeah, that shit's been happening to me a lot. It's really scary and I don't like it, but it's fine cuz even if life isn't real, it's still going really good right now. So you know what? Whoever is playing my game up in my head, whoever is playing as me, thank you for my life being good right now. In the past, it was shit. I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, but like, thank you for right now because right now it's really good. So glad that we're on good terms with that. So yeah, that's my idea on the simulation theory, I guess. Also in that video, they mentioned like classes of um, what's the fucking word? Like ESP almost, which is like um, psychic abilities. Like I don't know. That it could be two very different things, and I don't want to mix them up. But there's classes you can take on it, and I really want to take them. So I think I might do that because I've always felt like kind of in tune. So or at least maybe I'm just crazy, but I kind of want to take classes. And it's like basically where you have this picture, like somebody picks a random picture and they write a 6-digit code. And with that 6-digit code, you're supposed to kind of like receive messages about what the picture is and you're supposed to kind of guess it. And in the video, like they got it spot on like all 3 times. It was fucking insane. Like I've never seen something like that before, so that was insane and I want to learn how to do it. So I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to take the classes. I think there's like 8 maybe. I don't know, something like that. Sorry, that was me literally ripping my fucking chair thing. So I think I'm going to do that. It seems really interesting, so yeah. Um so that's like really what's been going on in my life currently. Um I'm like really drained. I woke up from a nap right after I started, or right before I started filming this, and so I'm feeling really drained still. Oh, here comes the yawn. Okay. So we're at 50 minutes right now, which is or 49, which is really good. So I won't keep talking too much longer. I'm only gonna go to an hour again. Let me take a little quick drink. Ah, ah. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Um, and I'm also getting like, of course, whenever I film these, I get like 50 million text messages while I'm doing that. So, okay, so I keep getting text messages, and I'm trying to trying to ignore them, I guess. Um, but I feel like for the rest of the time, we should read some stories on Reddit. How are we feeling about that? I think it's a good idea. I love reading stories on Reddit. Um, I think I might want to do a whole, kind of like a whole episode on this and make it the main thing. But um, I think I think we should read some for right now. I'm trying to think of like what topic we should pick. Um, well, you know what? Let's do glitches in the Matrix because we were just talking about the fucking simulation theory. Okay, let me pick a good one. Trying to find a story and not just pictures. This is so hard. Why is there like nothing on here? Um, this is so annoying. I'm like trying to. Ain't no way. There's gotta be glitches in the fucking Matrix. R slash glitches? Is that a good one? Nope, that's video games. I'm stupid. In the Matrix stories? Oh my god. Why can we not find any shit? Simulation stories? Hmm. Simulation theory? Oh. So I think these have been taken down, it seems. Apparently, Reddit does not want you to know about the simulation theory. Okay, there's not a lot of good stories on here. Should we just go to scary stories? You know, let's do a no sleep story for for right now because I do frequent the subreddit. So uh ooh, is this a long one? Okay, this one isn't that long, so I should be able to get this one in. So this is from 19 days ago, so it's not too old, you know. I'm gonna actually join the subreddit because I actually want to read about it more. I like how I haven't joined it, but I've listened to half these stories. Anyways, this one is called "My Missing Husband Came Home, but I just know it isn't him." Also, I'm sorry, I'm a horrible reader, but I'm gonna really try this time. Okay, I don't have a scary voice. I gotta get a scary voice. Anyways, here we go. My husband went missing 6 months ago. Just went out to work one day and never came home. It was a horrible shock to the whole neighborhood because things like that just didn't happen in our little slice of white picket fence suburbia. The police launched an investigation, and the neighborhood watch sent out search parties, but no one ever found any evidence to indicate what had happened to him. Our families were devastated. Recently, the missing posters have been taken down or papered over. The updates from the police became less frequent and dwindled away. I accepted that. Hard as it was to admit, my Rick wasn't coming back. Until he did. Ooh. A week ago, I was in the back garden watering my petunias when I heard the garden gate creak open. I jerked my head in that direction, and there he was. exactly the same as he was the day he disappeared. Same windswept blonde hair and bright blue eyes, same curl to his pink lips. I was in shock. Our families had mourned for him, and yet there he was, standing in our garden like he had just popped out for milk or something. When I asked where he had been, he said he didn't know. He couldn't remember anything about the last 6 months. All our family and friends are beside themselves with joy. They almost can't believe it, but that's just the thing. I don't believe it. Look, I understand how crazy this all sounds. I do. Our families would never believe me, and I can't go to the police unless I want to end up in a straitjacket. But I just know that the man sleeping next to me isn't my husband. I don't know what to do. I know I should be happy, but I'm not. I'm terrified. I don't know much about anything supernatural or paranormal. I don't even like watching horror movies. But something about this whole situation makes my skin crawl. Just let me explain why I'm so sure. Once I've done that, hopefully one of you will believe me, and you'll be able to tell me what to do. Sorry, let me swallow. Okay. The morning after Rick came home, I made him a cup of tea. When I handed it to him, he gave me the brightest smile. Then he took a sugar cube from the dish on the table and dropped it into the cup. Our house was in chaos with his return, and I was still in shock, so I didn't think much of it at the time, but it's been replaying in my mind ever since. I know it doesn't sound very significant, but my husband never put sugar in his tea. He was always adamant that it ruined the taste, and he'd get so frustrated if I ever put sugar in his cup by accident. And yet, this man had sugar. Then it was golf. A few days ago, when he was out visiting his mom, I recorded a golf tournament that was showing on TV. It was one of Rick's favorite golfers that was competing, and he never missed it. Once, he even skipped out on an anniversary dinner just to watch the championship. Only when he came home from his parents and I told him what I'd done, he just seemed unbothered. Like, he said thanks and everything, and then he asked if I wanted to get dinner. He didn't even watch it, and that's just so out of character for him. Then one night, I woke up around 2 a.m. to see Rick's face just inches from mine, looking at me with these blank eyes. I kind of gave him this nervous laugh and asked, "Baby, what are you doing?" Sorry, that was really funny. And he just didn't answer. For like a solid 30 seconds. He just stared, almost like he was looking right through me. Then he suddenly smiled and said, "Sorry, honey. Sometimes I just can't believe this is real." And then he just rolled over and went to sleep. I didn't get much sleep after that myself. Yesterday, about a week after he came home, the neighborhood threw a street party to celebrate his return. Everyone from our street and the streets on either side turned up to see him and tell him how happy they were that he's all right. When he wasn't standing with his arm around my waist, he was milling around chatting amicably, oh my god, amicably to each and every one of our next door neighbors, even the little kids. Jackson, our next door neighbor Sally's toddler, wanted to play peekaboo, and Rick happily played along with a smile on his face. Now, my husband never did that. Rick always said he didn't like kids. That's why we never had any. And so he never wanted to play with any of the neighborhood children, especially not Jackson. Rick all but avoided him. Before he disappeared, I had started to suspect it was so I wouldn't see them together and notice the subtle but unmistakable similarities. The final nail in the coffin, proverb, that's not a word, speaking, was Sally. Just this morning, she came knocking on our door. Her excuse was the tray of brownies she carried, but I think she just wanted to push her way into our morning so that she could see for herself what the situation was. After she left, I called her a nosy busybody. Rick laughed, kissed my head, and agreed with me. That was when I knew it for sure that it couldn't really be him. Rick always used to get so mad whenever I insulted Sally. Like I didn't have any right to hate her, even though she'd been fucking my husband for years. What the fuck? Oh, okay, this took a turn. But today there was none of that. He didn't even try to defend her. I know what you must be thinking. If he was in an accident or something, he might have had some kind of traumatic brain injury that caused him to forget some things about his life, maybe even change his personality. And that's a valid, reasonable explanation. I have no doubt it's what the police would tell me if I reported all this. But you know why I'm dead certain that that man isn't my husband? He doesn't have a scar. If he was really Rick, he'd have a scar on the side of his forehead, shaped like a golf club I hit him with. But there's nothing, not a mark. Honestly, I'm this close to going out tonight and digging up my petunias just to make sure he's still under there. I don't know what I'm sharing a bed with, but I know it's not my husband. So what the hell am I gonna do? Ah, that's the end. How was that? I loved the ending. Oh my god. That was so good. Yeah, also just so you know, I didn't say this beforehand, but most of these stories are fake. I'm just making that very clear. Not all of them, but most of them. Oh, that was really good. I liked that one. Whew. So, did we enjoy that? I think it might be. I mean, I'm a horrible reader, but I think that might just be a little bit of a teaser into what I might do next episode. Maybe I don't know if you want any scary stories or really any stories in general. Just let me know. Like I do like reading these things. Reddit is a great source to find some stories. That's for sure. Um, Sad I couldn't find any simulation stories though. I don't know if they've been taken off of Reddit. They might have. I'm not really sure. I could try and find some more like glitches in the Matrix type things. But I think that's gonna do it for today. I hope it was really interesting to listen to. I really hope you enjoy me talking for an hour straight. Um, but we had a great conversation about how I contradict everything I fucking say in this. About my past horrible hookup stories that I love to tell to people, and some simulation shit, some supernatural shit, and then some storytelling, bitch. I think I should be a narrator, but that's just me. If you want, like, if you want to see me telling more stories, what type of stories, you can put that in the comments, or come to my house and tell me in person. Whatever you feel. Um, and other than that, I think I'm gonna let everyone go. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Day, evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're listening to this. And other than that, I will talk to y'all later. Bye, my beautiful whores.